Hello everybody and welcome back. My name is Winvac, and on today's episode of Heroes of the Storm with our A through Z playthrough, we are going to be playing Auriel and healing a Cho'Gall. If you can imagine that, the quick match gods deemed fit to do exactly what we need them to do. So, if you are familiar at all with this character, you're in for a trip, I promise. Anyway, this is a YouTube video, so feel free to like, comment, and subscribe your heart out. And if you like the channel, you want to support it, feel free to share your Facebooks, your Twitters, your YouTubes, whatever you do's. Without further ado, though, the team comps today are going to be Cho'Gall, Nazeebo, Maiev, Auriel versus Zagara, Nova, Deckard Cain, Stitches, and Phoenix. And right out of the gates, you should understand that you always want to be using Cho'Gall as your battery. If you don't understand what the term battery means when you're playing Auriel, you need someone to do damage for you to gain resources, which is your hope, to heal people. Not sure why we're just letting the vision go, but here we are. Anyway, the reason that we're using Cho'Gall as a battery is because he's essentially two characters, one that can do two independent sources of damage that are going to heal our hope bar twice as fast. So, Jesus, okay. If you're playing Auriel, you have to have a decent battery, and then you have to have a decent amount of understanding with the character herself to generate your own energy to heal people the best that you possibly can. So, list of good batteries. Obviously, Cho'Gall is number one, all the way at the top. No contest there. There's also Gul'dan, really big one. Vala is another hyper carry battery that's going to do a lot of good for you. Basically, you want to have characters that can do a lot of consistent, overlapping damage that is just going to fill your bar repeatedly over and over again, so you don't have to worry as much about dealing damage by yourself. It's not that Auriel can't do that, it's just a lot more difficult for her to do that. So, all that being said, we can talk about Auriel's actual abilities now. And if you're not aware, the way that Auriel generates hope from other characters is by putting her little hat on them. It is her D. It's called Bestow Hope. It's the crown that Cho'Gall has right now. He's got a hat, so he's giving us hope, and that is pretty scary in and of itself, with him going in there and just, okay, it's fine. Everything's fine. It's a little spooky, because it's a quick match, and we're going to have to get over that together. So our Q ability is called Sacred Sweep, and this is just a very large AoE ability that we didn't have off cooldown to kill. Oh, he's just gonna die anyway. But as you can see, I mean, it's our main form of AoE damage, and it is the easiest way for Auriel to generate hope on her own, because you're going to get hope from all of the stuff that you hit, whether it is a minion, hero, whatever, and you can hit the most stuff with your Sacred Sweep. You are going to do more damage in the center of the ability, and then the center of the ability, since it's a fan, you're going to do more damage here, if that makes sense. I wish I could show you the indicator, but it's replay, and here we are. Now, there will be a little indicator down the center of the ability. You can see what's important. Oh, right. And for you build people, if you don't need anything more than the build, Swift Sweep at 1, Repeated Offense at 4, it is going to be Energized Cord at 7, Crystal Aegis or Resurrect at 10, since we have a Cho'Gall, Piercing Lash at 13, 16 is going to be a Reservoir of Hope, since we have a Cho'Gall, and then 20 will be the Shield of Hope normally, but we'll probably end up taking whatever ult upgrade means the most. So, we're trading temples right now. Who knows if this game is even gonna go to level 20. It's Sky Temple, and Nazeebo's dead on the other side of the map for some reason. Don't know why, don't know how. Not interested at all. Now, our W for Auriel is our only heal button. It's the only button in her kit that is going to use your resource, your hope. It's called Ray of Heaven, and we're going to consume all of our energy, no matter how much we have at that moment, to use this ability, and we are going to heal for the amount that's been stored up. So right now we're only healing for 111. A maximum of 626 is what we're going to get at a full bar, but currently we have fuck all. Cho'Gall's generating a little bit for us, but the cool thing about this ability is since it's on a 4-second cooldown, you can basically spam it as long as you have enough energy generated for the ability to work. So in games like this, not sure why I'm the one doing the soaking or why people are chasing under towers, but there we are. Gonna save the Cho'Gall, finally making the decision to come to the lane. It's really not good for a Cho'Gall to be diving towers before level 10, because if he dies, that's 2 kills for the enemy team. Puts us more down the XP deficit. I mean, things get bad. Real bad if you're suiciding on that character in the early game. Now, the Ray of Heaven, again, being on a 4-second cooldown, since we have a Cho'Gall, we should basically have it up all the time, and we can slap anybody on our team in an AoE with the heal. So remember that it's not just a single target heal, it's an AoE. You can target yourself, you can target a group of people, you can do lots and lots of stuff. There are some builds with Auriel that you can turn this into a damage ability as well. So that is a thing that may, in fact, happen one day. But your E ability, probably the most fun part about Auriel's kit, is called the Detainment Strike. Now, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it does knock back. So basically, when you're using this ability, you want to think like Skill Shot, Shadow Charge for Diablo. That's the way that it's going to work. So it does a little bit of damage and knocks back if you hit someone with it, but if you hit them into terrain, you're going to do a stupid amount more damage, and you are going to stun them for 1.25 seconds. So you want to keep an eye out for the edges of the terrain, flanking enemies, all sorts of stuff that'll put you between them and the wall. I can't keep you alive if you run under towers without your level 10. Okay, and I can't even go resurrect him because I'm going to get run down and have to resurrect myself. We'll talk about that ultimate choice here in a second. But anyway, Detainment Strike is going to be a huge form of CC, and it is especially brutal when you have a big tank CC to follow up off. So like an ETC, a Diablo, even a Garrosh to some extent could set you up really hard for another. This is like just 1.25 seconds of hope generation, of CC, of everything that you could possibly require. So good. And again, most fun part of... Oh, she's dead. She's going to die in the stomach? Come out of the stomach and die? Oh my god, it took forever to happen. Cho'Gall going in doesn't care that Maiev is dead, and his healer is just now making it. But I guess that's fine, because we can keep him topped up for quite a while. That is a big sleep on everybody on our team, so Stitches can get away, but we do wake up just in time to turn the fight around and take what's left of the temple. Good news is we're up on all of our buildings, so... okay. He teleported out only to get trapped in the wall, only to get stunned in the trap wall and die. I love it. There are synergies between Tassadar, Nazebo, and Auriel. All of their stuff counts as walls, so if you hit someone with your E, you're going to stun them. It's really cool. It's not super often it's going to happen, but Tassadar, probably a decent battery for Auriel as well, now that I think about it. Pretty good stuff. Ooh, okay, no, can you go away? I don't want to get gorged, even though I think that, yes, it's still on cooldown. I didn't know that in the game, but always good to slap away the Stitches if he's hooked you. Okay, there's the gorge. Cho'Gall's dead. I didn't hit the whip fast enough, so can't save Nazebo. Had we stunned Cho'Gall into the wall, Nazebo probably would have lived. So that is my bad. Damn it. Maiev doing the correct thing in soaking. Not sure why Cho'Gall's running under the fort again. Even though he has his ults, it's just kind of like, well, why would you do that? But anyway. Where was I? Oh, right, the ultimate choice. Resurrect. The reason that we're taking Resurrect is because my teammates are making such bad decisions. And I don't want to... no. I don't want to kill my Maiev with a Crystal Aegis. So my Cho'Gall's always going in. If I Crystal Aegis him, I can almost guarantee you the enemy's just going to line up skill shots on him and damage with their roots, Gorge, Nova's Precision Strike, blah blah. And if I try to do that on Maiev while she's going in to essentially be our tank, we'll probably end up killing her as well. Nazebo's not going to do anything with it. I mean, he should already have Ice Block. Let's check and see. He does. He does, in fact, have Ice Block. And with Cho'Gall being so insanely suicidal in this game, Resurrect can correct a lot of his really bad mistakes. It is on an extremely long cooldown, so the good news is that with Sky Temple, the time frame in between temples should line up pretty consistently with Resurrect, as long as our team doesn't do a whole lot of dying like Nazebo did on the bottom side. Still, we have 3 forts to their maybe working on 1 this go round, and we're in pretty dominant lead of this game. The Sky Temple, as long as we don't feed away all of the temples to the enemy team, we've already won. So, good news there. Now, as far as the build goes, there's a couple talents that are just going to be all around permanent for Auriel. I think Repeated Offense is one of them. Energized Chord, another, and then that's probably it. Shield of Hope at 20 is, I think, also mandatory if you're playing Auriel competitively, but since we've taken Resurrect, I want the Resurrect cooldown reduction. Can we knock him into that wall? We certainly can. Slapped him directly into the flag post. Is he going to die, though? That is the big question. At this moment, I've decided I would rather keep Maiev alive than I would Cho'Gall, so we're just kind of hanging around, watching her decisions instead of their decisions, because we can almost guarantee that his whole game plan is to run in there and die. And now that we've got a Resurrect coming back in just a couple seconds, we'll make do. The talents on this build that are going to make things different, though, for each player are your level 1 talent, number 1. Swift Sweep is my personal favorite at this tier because the faster that you can use your Q, the faster that you can generate hope in a pinch, and the faster that you can get away from certain death. So when Auriel normally uses this ability, it is a long time. And then maybe she's going to walk away. During that time, you've basically rooted yourself, and you are a sitting duck to the enemy team. So if there's AoE damage, you have to dodge. If there's anything coming at you, you're fucked. But if you have the Swift Speed, or the Swift Sweep, you're just going to have a lot more fun, and a lot better time clearing, a lot better time getting hope, doing lots of things on your own. We just slapped right into the corner. It's good. It's good. Another reason that that E ability is just the best. Now, our other options at level 1, Searing Light you take if you're just building for a DPS Auriel. That's the only way to do that, and I don't think it's particularly great. The quest for the Q is... You're trading the effectiveness of the ability for extra damage, which is extra hope, but since it's so slow, it's easier to miss. I don't know. I understand the trade that people have in their brains. I just don't consider that a good enough trade for me personally. And then Righteous Assault, the cooldown reduction, again, it's on a pretty short cooldown as is. 8 seconds isn't terribly huge, and you're not going to be clearing waves anyway with Auriel. You're going to be mostly supplementing other people's clear. You're going to be trying to hit heroes for, maximum hope generation. It's whatever. So Zagara's up in the top lane defending a push, which means that we should be able to just go directly in. Cho'Gall's got the idea, but he's very far off the point, making poor decisions yet again. So we've got a Resurrect ready for him in the event that he's dead. Ooh, wow, that actually hit him. That was incredibly well timed. 2 people sleeping. Maiev is going to get eaten by the stitches. I have to resurrect Cho'Gall, even though I wanted to save it for the Maiev. We're going to keep her alive just barely. We've almost got another heal for her. Perfect. She's going to make it out. Ate a lot of cooldowns from the enemy team and a lot of focus, so we can clean it up with a resurrected Cho'Gall. Thank God. Now, the other talents on this build that might be worth talking about. Again, repeated defense, even though it's a mandatory talent, you want to have it because the knockback distance is farther, making it easier to collide people into terrain, and it's going to give you more damage, which is more hope on the ability. It's just perfectly useful. So the CC is only really important. He's dead. There's nothing I could do to help you. Holy shit, you actually lived. Amazing. I'm the best healer of all time. Right, no, but Detainment Strike, the whole purpose of the ability is to stun people into walls. Having the slow is fine, I guess, but it's only if you hit the, it's a 20% slow if you don't hit them into a wall. And then it's a 40% slow if you do. Like, it just doesn't feel good. If the people aren't dying in the window that you've stunned them into the wall, then don't bother doing that. And then Majestic Span is just, like, too... whatever. Just don't. Energized Cord is another way that you, as Auriel, are going to be able to generate hope for yourself without having to rely on your batteries, especially if they suck. So, luckily, it doesn't really matter if our Cho'Gall is good or not, because he's still 2 people doing a lot of damage for us all the time. So we can kind of make do with that. But if you have something like a Vala or a Gul'dan or a Tassadar who doesn't want to hit their abilities, now you have to rely on your own auto attacks. You have to do all of your own stuff to keep your hope bar up. So that's why we're taking Energized Cord to get the increased hope generation. Empathic Link is for, you know, putting your hat on a tank to generate hope from getting them hit. But that's not necessarily a good option anyway. You don't want to generate healing from people taking damage, right? It's just kind of easy. You don't heal damage taken at a lower rate and then assume that's a good trait. You get where I'm coming from. Big whip on the everybody into the fucking dead fort. Cho'Gall's still going in. Stitch is really wanting to pull him in to continue the damage. Okay, well, I guess we'll take the Nova instead. Stitch is opting to leave that character in the dust. Now, Piercing Lash, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You knock 2 people into a wall instead of 1. Oh my god, I've been eaten! But I have Resurrect, so even if I do die under core somehow, it's not that big a deal. I missed the stun. I hate it. Reservoir of Hope was literally only to take for Cho'Gall. Now, it's a questing talent where you have to have a full hope bar to get a ding off of it, but it is going to increase your maximum hope storage by 75. So we've got bonus 900 storage, which means we're doing 900 extra healing, which means we're healing Cho'Gall's enormous health bar a lot. Just a lot. So with them, totally worth it to take. Same thing with like big characters. I'd even say you could do it with a Diablo or Stitches on your team if you wanted to go that route, even though buffing your carry is much more important with spell power or attack speed on that tier. Yes, that's me. I'm welcome. Okay, at least 2 of those are my Cho'Gall. It may have also been my Maiev, but I will take credit for that game. I did keep people alive. And then your 20 at Lightspeed isn't necessarily an amazing talent, but it does cut the cooldown of your Resurrect in half as long as the person that you've resurrected stays alive, and then while they are resurrected, they're going to move stupid fast for 4 seconds. It's not, you know, the best talent in the universe compared to Shield of Hope, I think it's called, which is just a shield for the amount of missing health, but Lightspeed is going to make your Resurrect a bit more safe, and you're going to cut the cooldown quite a bit. I really do think this talent should be picked more if you're taking Resurrect, but you don't see many people take Resurrect, period, so. Oh my god, the Nazebo took Humongoid. He didn't have it. This is actually perfect. Like, what a wonderful player to realize that you can't get your viral infection, so you better pick a talent that you can actually use. Thank you, you legend. That's going to be it for me, though, today, guys. This is Auriel in a nutshell. We'll be back tomorrow with... oh my god, I can't remember. It's another A character. It's the last A. Fucking... something Blaze Brightwing. I'm sure I will remember once I start playing it. Anyway, see you there. GG's. Peace out.